So, a lot has happened in the last week in the F1 career mode space, gaming space in general, to the point where this career mode has been put on the shelf. However, this is round 13 of the Lewis Hamilton career mode, 4 rounds to go to finish the series. We arrive at Monza, the Italian Grand Prix, Hamilton's future home in real life, Hamilton's former home in this episode. The previous video, guys, the previous episode will be linked in the top right for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Go watch it. Spoilers ahead. So this is your chance now to go click off the video and go see what happened around Max Verstappen's backyard. So we arrive here and things are looking a little bit on the ropey side. We had a DNF in Zandvoort. We wasn't particularly quick, but we also DNF'd. So with Verstappen winning, we did inherit 320 extra R&D points. We lost the turbocharger, so we're going to go ahead and swiftly replace it. Also replacing a few extra components which are a bit more wear sensitive, because we are racing at Monza today, a huge power circuit, so it's only right we have the best, freshest possible components on the car. We're going to try and extend the ICE by another round, because we still have a few more races to go and we only have one allocation left. Now, because of that DNF, we are losing in the rivalry with Verstappen, and by quite some way. 31 points is the gap, so we need something big here to claw this back. We also lost the lead in the Constructors' Championship to Red Bull in the last episode, so things are not looking good, bruv. They're not looking great. So we're going to begin with upgrades. Now, I can't quite afford the bigger one, so we're going to go for the cheaper one. However, we are going to rush it, as there's a 25% failure chance, so hopefully that can be on for Baku. In the meantime, we sim ahead and we are the best car in the field, therefore we lose an upgrade at random, but it's only the gearbox, the improved materials, which is a real bonus, because essentially we lose no performance and we have more upgrades arriving, so our car might just get super powered in the last couple of rounds. Either way, every round, every race, if we're top of the chart, we're going to get nerfed at random, so at some point we're going to get hit pretty heavily, but for now it's working in our favour. Now, the only real note is Sauber bringing upgrades this weekend, nobody else really improving. The forecast is dry, so we begin the on-track action with practice, and the car felt sublime. It feels like the quickest car in the field, and I think it also suits our car, this track, really, really well. We maxed out the practice program, hit it with pretty good ease, got all our goals ticked off, good fuel burn, good tyre wear, got faster and faster actually pretty much every single lap, so kind of confirming, you know, the pace we have in the car, which is really encouraging. Now, with that out the way, you can see we finished in the top 10. We matched Lando on a slower compound, which is a really good sign. Alonso setting the tone in Aston Martin colours, Stroll third as well, confirming their pace. Verstappen though up there as always, and he's going to be the man to beat.
For over a century, the Temple of Speed has all come down to moments like this. Driver versus the stopwatch to set the grid for the Grand Prix. It is qualifying at Monza.
Now, the reason there was a week delay on this series is because of the patch which, you know, dropped last week, updating the car models with the sports update. It made all my mods invalid, basically, so I had to wait, and luckily there was a mod release which basically allows you to backdate the cars to the previous patch models version, so we're still playing essentially on the old patch, if that makes sense. So mods working okay, we can resume this series. Now, our first lap in qualifying is a 1:17.2, which isn't too bad, but it's only P8, even though actually the margins are pretty close. So we go for a second push lap consecutive. Tyre temps are at a sweeter spot, which is good because the pressures are in the perfect range, so we'll be quicker on the straight. You can see here we're just gaining on the straights without doing anything at all, so it's really helping us out. Into the 4-5 chicane, we get a bit loose through both corners, and we lose generally through there also on the exit. Now then, through the Lesmos we claw.
Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining.
we claw some time back, but we ruin it and throw it all away on the second Lesmo. So we go again, one last run as we went into recharge mode. I've got enough fuel to finish this final lap, and we're about a tenth and a bit up compared to that previous lap, so we're looking pretty decent. Making our way through Ascari, everything looking nice and tidy, with now just one corner to go here, the final corner at the Parabolica. 8th as it stands, Zhou there in the Audi P6 with a 17.2. So we're going to hopefully jump into the top 5 here with this. We find a bit more time taking a shorter line out of the final corner. Up to the line we go, and it's a 17.0, and we break into the top 4. So, analysis. Verstappen looks rapid. Leclerc second for Ferrari. We're up there with Norris and the Astons also confirming their pace. The surprise package in this one is Zhou Guanyu in 8th in the Audi, looking extremely quick as Sainz jumps into the top 6. Now, we're going to get ready for our final attempt here at Monza. P5 for now, a fresh set of soft tyres as we get the lap underway. But you can see all of the traffic flooding out of the pits. They all get out of the way until we reach Perez, who just parks it at the apex. So luckily I went up with time. I was planning to go for, a double run or a back-to-back lap attempt. So we're prepared for another go. So we let everyone go by, we get clear track, and now with 30 seconds on the clock,
and that's just 30 seconds left in the session,
we're going to go for our final attempt. Can we go for pole? Let's find out. It's a decent lap, but it's only P3, not enough to fight for pole. Verstappen does it again, Norris in second, and we are quite a way away in third, but it's still decent. The car feels quick, and we've actually got a bit of a mixed up grid there with Ferrari, Aston, Audi, Audi Sauber, however you want to call it, Mercedes, Haas, Red Bull, Perez down in 12th. It's all jumbled up, but crucially, Verstappen on pole, but he's got 2 McLarens for company.
Monza, the oldest circuit on the calendar, which hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. Today we look forward to the Italian Grand Prix. Monza, northeastern Milan, some of the most iconic turns in all of racing. The chicane at turn 1 and 2, the Variante Ascari at turns 8, 9 and 10, and the Parabolica to conclude things at turn 11. We are full throttle for 80% of the lap. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Stroll, Zhou, Sainz, Gasly, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Théo Pourchaire, Russell, Albon, Behrman, Ocon, Oscar Piastri, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes, delighted to say that we're joined today by Anthony Davidson. Well, they're having a better time than their teammates so far this year. How do you keep that momentum going? Well, this is the most advanced sport anywhere on the planet. How's it changed since you were last racing?
The cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance, but because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Here we go then, time for the race at Monza. P3 on the grid, Verstappen, Norris ahead of us, which could be interesting. Norris might be able to play a team role here to try and help us out, or we could try and use him as an advantage to try and beat Verstappen, who looks very quick again this weekend. Now, for this one, I'm going to take no chances on fuel. We're running the highest fuel I've ever ran in a race in this entire career mode. 3 extra laps of fuel. If we have fuel trouble now with this, I don't have an answer. It's just going to keep getting worse. Anyway, fuel is one issue. Tyres are another. And rear tyre wear, crucially, is important here. I'm actually going to go for hard to medium. I'm going to try and make the hard tyre work in the first stint of the race. It might backfire, but I'm hoping to be strong at the end. I did this in league racing and it worked really well. So let's see what happens. Let's get into the race. Hopefully it pays off, and come the end of it, we outscore Max, because we desperately need to do that. Okay, we've built up decent enough tyre temperature. Now let's try and hopefully deliver on this race start and try and hold our own on this tyre. It's not going to be easy, but we'll try and do our best. I think if we can just hang in someone's DRS, that would be critical, and that would really help us a lot. Anyway, let's get to the action and let's see what happens. Right, here we go. Italian Grand Prix. Let's see if we can try and get a good start. Away we go. Not terrible. We lose out to Leclerc, but that's not awful. Oh my god, Zhou is up the inside in the Audi and challenging for 3rd place, and he's got it. Zhou Guanyu in the Audi is up to 3rd. Where has that come from? Anyway, we're getting the battery on here and we're challenging Leclerc. We've got some good straight line speed by the looks of it, but Zhou Guanyu out of nothing is up to 3rd as Audi make a splash around Monza. Up front, Verstappen holds the lead from Norris. That's a shocker. And right now Zhou's pushing it, so let's just try and stick with it. Of course, DRS will be enabled on the next lap. We've got very good top end speed, so we'll try and use that to catch up. What we need is Norris to get involved with Verstappen and try and battle quite heavily with him. For now though, we're just going to wait to pass Zhou on the pit straight as Norris tries to pass Verstappen into Parabolica. Goes around the outside. This is great for us. Now we've got a chance here to try and get past the Audi, get a leapfrog and a slipstream. Norris has taken the race lead, so here we go. We're going to use everything here and go for it.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Zhou fights back with the battery. Side by side into the first chicane. We get the line and we're in front. And we stay ahead, crucially. Although we don't have DRS on Verstappen, which might hurt us. Oh, I've locked up into there as well. I've just nicked the front, which has definitely cost us DRS. I was hoping to really send it through that chicane. We might have to let Zhou through here to try and recharge. I've had a horrible second Lesmo, so we will let the Audi back through. Leclerc's 1.7 back. He's lost time with Sainz. So right now, we are working with Zhou Guanyu to try and get back into a race-winning position here in the Audi. I might even repass him actually into turn 1. Slipstream is so powerful. just had a bit of a charge behind, so we can now go for it. Verstappen's going to look to pass Norris here. Right, come on. Going to move the brake bias to 56 and see if it works. They're side by side up ahead. And crucially, still side by side, so now Norris is doing me a solid favour here. Verstappen into P1, but we're just over a second off. We might be able to close in here if I can nail the chicane this time. I hear that second bump. We're within though. We're close. Just got to hang on through there. Did we get it? No, we didn't. We just missed out. Oh my days, that was so close. Anyway, Norris is going for it. Let's try and stick with the action here. We might be able to close in into Ascari. Norris into the lead. That was a perfect one right on the track limits. And we've got ourselves right into range. Huge. Now, it's race on. We've got good pace here this weekend. Norris also kind of confirming it. Zhou hanging on in the Audi in P4. Unbelievable. What a start to this race. We'll go purple for now. Let's settle in, let's recharge and get ready for the next phase. Zhou has been dropped, so he'll start to fall back now. He did well for a good few laps there, hanging in there in the Audi. Definitely showing their improvement and upgrades this weekend. But now it's a 3-horse race up front with the top 3 in the championship. As I say that, Verstappen putting the moves on Norris. This might just bring Zhou back into play. Norris has a horrible exit out of the chicane, so we are going to go through and waste no time. This is perfect for our tyre strategy. Let's try and set Verstappen up here.
Lewis, it's Verstappen ahead. Right, let's go. Let's try and get past them and put them on the back foot. Push, push.
Yep, let's get to work. Here we go, Verstappen derating. We're going to just be patient through Parabolica. We're going to look to pass him here. Hopefully Norris will follow. And I'm going to keep pushing to try and drop him out of DRS range. Here we go, dipping in for a bit more slipstream.
Yeah, really good job on hitting that target, mate. Nice work. Still a long way to go, though.
Norris does not follow me through, but we take P1. At this stage now, the hards should be starting to come into their own a little bit, and we should be hitting that crossover. So let's see. Unable to break away. DRS is just way too strong. Slipstream way too strong. So we're destined to keep running this back for the next few laps as both guys go through. Norris with the double pass. Just going to take a back seat here, brake early into the chicane and just wait. Norris into first. I'll try and sneak attack Verstappen here, who will likely be low on battery. Side by side through Curva Grande, we've got the inside line. Can't brake too late, don't want to take Norris with me, but we go through. Right, this is massive. If I can just force Norris and Verstappen to get into a battle, that would allow me to break away. But do I want to kind of work with Norris here to get a 1-2 finish and not pull away? I think it's hard to break anyway. I think none of us have the pace to do so. DRS slipstream too strong. Although right now, just feels like each lap that passes I'm getting stronger, especially for the corners. We're burning fuel like crazy, so I think 3 laps is going to be right on the money. I'm going to try and pass Norris here because we've got a 6/10 gap to Verstappen, which is flirting with, you know, dangerous for him. So we're going to go for it, and we're going to use everything. We're going to waste no time. We're not going to be cheap on the battery, as it is our teammate. Norris defends.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
A little bit deep there into turn 1, but look at the gap between Norris and Verstappen here. This could be huge. We're going to give Norris a slipstream all the way down towards the chicane, which might just help break DRS. Tidy through the chicane. This is going to be close. Verstappen falling out of range. This could be huge. I think we've got it. So if we now let Norris go, we would be working together efficiently. There goes Lando. Verstappen does not have DRS. Norris doesn't get through too convincingly into Ascari, but it's good enough. Verstappen still out of the 1 second window. We're going to bump draft Norris here. And we'll pass him again on the pit straight, down towards turn 1. Come on, come on. Using all the battery. I think Norris is out as well, to be fair. Right, this is perfect. Come on, we've got the race now. The gap is really going now. We're pulling Norris along. This is perfect. The hard tyre now is the better compound. We've got more pace. I'm able to hang on. I've also got very good straight line speed. If I use all my battery, we can hang on. So this is just ideal. Norris is running out of deployment a bit on the straight, but because of the DRS pool, we're just dragging him along. So this is working out beautifully. Gap to Verstappen now over 2 seconds. Not from me, but from Norris. Best thing is, because we are on different strategies, we're not going to clash, because Lando will box early and we will go a few laps later. So it's literally perfect. This is working well now. We're dragging him along, so we can try and get this 1-2 finish, which is what we need for both championships. We're second in both right now, so we need this result. I'll let Lando go here. I'll take a recharge. Nearly full, but he was putting the pressure on, so instead of trying to cost us time, we'll let him take the reins for a bit. This is really going well now. A well-oiled machine. A bit like what McLaren are failing to do in real life. We'll go through here on the pit straight. Lando should be in sooner, to be fair. Actually, I'm going to just hang back in case he goes to push. This might be his end lap anyway.
Okay, Lewis, Lando ahead. They're holding us up now, so let's please try and get past as soon as possible and get on with our race. Push, push.
Hopefully we'll hit that goal once Lando pits, if it doesn't get cancelled. If I'm not mistaken, it does feel like Norris is pushing on this lap. He's definitely running a better pace. If he's not in this lap, it'll be the next one, but I think it could well be this one. Unless he's programmed to go another one in case I was meant to go lap 12. Yep, okay, in that case, we'll now go for it.
Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
So we'll go through.
Good stuff, mate. You hit the target well there. Nice one. It's a long way to go in this race, though, so keep your head down.
So we'll take the reins and we'll try and run the pace. So surely this will be Lando's in lap. Completely dropped Norris through the Ascari chicane. Definitely got the better tyres now. He's got 4 seconds over Verstappen, so even with the slow stop, Max should not be able to get within Norris's DRS range. Does Lando pit? Yes, he does. There we go. Right, so now we push. Crucial laps.
Lando's in the pits. Lando in the pits.
We cannot get undercut by Verstappen, so we have to run the pace as best as we can. First track limits. Just pushing a little bit too much there. But we're trying to push the pace. We should be in soon. Got a yellow on the pit straight. Piastri for the Alpine team out. But again, no safety car, as we know. We're going to go one more and extend, where we've got a decent gap over Norris. We're matching pace-wise, so we don't have to panic into this stop. Right, through Ascari. Oh my god. Whew, that's a snap. Got to be careful of the inside curb. We're going to box and go for the mediums. Gap over 24. If we have a slow stop, we'll be behind Norris. If it's a standard, we should still be in front. So let's see. Hopefully everything goes well. No speeding. Oh, that was a bit close. Probably pushed that a bit more than I needed to, but luckily, job done. So in we go. Hit our marks. Hit the revs. And it's a slow one. Not terrible though, 3.8, I've had a lot worse. Norris rounding the final corner. Up to the line, he'll be in front of us, but we'll be hopefully right behind him or here.
pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Could have maybe even raced in with battery, but that's okay. We'll just hang back, get the tyres up to temperature, and we'll then do what we've got to do. So let's try and win this, hopefully lock in the fastest lap and get the 1-2, thus achieving maximum points around here. We're winding it up. We're going to pass Norris here to get a slingshot to basically set an unbeatable time using the battery. Wait for the DRS. There it is.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Straight into P1 and back into the race lead. And now we'll just use the rest of the battery throughout the lap to make sure we lock in that purple lap, an extra point.
Okay, Lewis. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
That objective is laughable. That's all I'll say. And there we go, over a second quicker.
Oh, mate, great stuff. You hit that target. That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race.
Nice job done. Hopefully now no safety cars, no dramas. A nice, boring end to this race is exactly what I want. One more for the road, 1:17.8 without DRS. Just a much better lap, as we didn't have to burn everything overtaking Norris, so I could deploy my battery in a better strategy. But yeah, we're completely gone now. Let's win this race. Last lap, Ascari, no dramas. Easy does it, bringing the car home in one piece. Also looks like Zhou could be on for a P4 in Audi colours, which is insane. Either way, what a weekend for them. Their upgrades working well, but we come through with a perfect strategy, a perfect result, and a huge win.
Great work, lads. Great work. What a result for the team. So happy for you all and so grateful to you all. Let's keep pushing. This is super positive.
The all-time win record is getting extended. Lewis Hamilton takes the win. Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight.
Look at that, absolutely perfect. We of course crush everyone's best times, and that was the most dominant performance of the season from us. A really good race car, and there were some real big standout performers, and not just Zhou Guanyu. Gasly P5 in the Ferrari, Tsunoda Hulkenberg both in the top 8, confirming the upgrades from a Haas. But yeah, what a weekend. We will take that. After DNFing in the last one, we absolutely needed that result, and we got it. And not just that, Sergio Perez, P15. So it goes to show, this weekend, the Red Bull just didn't have the pace because Max blew Checo away. So yeah, a really, really up and down final top 10 and a few surprises in the standings. We are now 20 points behind Verstappen, and there's only a handful of races to go, so it's going to go to the wire. Norris mathematically still has a chance, I believe, but it's getting very thin for him. Zhou up to 13th with that 4th place finish, which is huge for him. In the Constructors, we are back into first, 15 points ahead of Red Bull. So that 1-2 finish and Perez scoring no points has really helped us out, and we've swung things right back around. So we've reclaimed the lead in the Constructors. Now we have to go back and get the drivers. Anyway, guys, in the background now you're going to have, of course, the post-race fallout regarding our driver stats. As you know, we're getting very close now to just leveling out all the 99s on the driver statistics, and also post-race, recognition versus Lando status, also post-race specialist, everything looking pretty decent now, no dramatical changes. And yeah guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. It's been a good race, a good episode. We go again in the next one. As always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the channel, the content, the videos. And as always guys, check out the 2 videos on screen, my links down below, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.